Hey, you. Yes, you. It's time to shake yourself and get out of bed. I am Ebony S. Bailey, and I am so excited you joined me today. Are you ready? Because I sure am. It's time for another episode of She Woke Up Dreaming. One of my favorite people in the world on with me today. I'm so excited she could join me and to hear her story, to hear her words of wisdom, to find out how she made it to where she is today. I would like you guys to give a warm welcome to Sharon Chislom. I'm giving her a round of applause. Hey girl, how are you? How you doing?
Ebony, I am doing well. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm excited to
Look,
see where this conversation goes today.
and hello to all of those She Woke Up ladies. Look.
Yes, ma'am. They should be up. They should be ready. They should be ready to hear some power packed dialogue this morning so that they can be fired up for the day. I mean, the title is She Woke Up Dreaming. And so today we're going to dive back into it. You know, you guys have seen some episodes, you've heard some episodes up until now, so you know what to expect. You know, I bring only the best people up here. So I have one of, like I said, she's one of my favorites. I call her a mentor. I call her a friend. I call her lots of different things. And you're going to get to know her if you do not already know her. So if you would introduce yourself and tell them what you do.
Okay. Well, my name is Sharon Chislom. Right now I am a pastor. I'm a founder of SDC Ministries, and
Yeah.
I love this ministry. Why do I love it? Because we are here to connect, to cultivate, and to collaborate with God's people. And so that's what the ministry does. Um, and teaching is my passion. So
Mm-hmm.
I absolutely love teaching. I love diving into the word and studying the word of God and hearing what God has to say to
Yeah.
us and to me, because the word is relevant. So it's relevant to me, and then it's
Mhm.
relevant to those who I then have the opportunity to give it back out to. And so I also do Cultivation God's Way, which is a series teaching right now, and that's happening via Zoom. So I'm excited. I'm excited to be here with Ebony S. Bailey.
Yeah.
I'm excited to be here with her and um, and the launch of this web series. So you guys,
Yeah.
you guys support and enjoy and take this content that's been given to you on a daily basis and go out there and activate.
Yeah, and she was very modest. Like when she says she teaches, she loves to teach. She is a phenomenal teacher. She
Thank you.
knows how to literally break down the word of God and make it palatable. She makes it easy for you to understand, digest, and she not only tells you how to do it, but she shows you how to apply it. She's one of the people that has pushed me into praying even more, studying even more, diving into the word even more. And she's awesome at what she does. So today, when she starts talking about her journey and how she's gotten to where she is today and how she's trusted God and leaned on Him and stepped out into starting her own ministry, you know, all the time people work for others. But when God releases you into your own, you have to be a good steward over it, and she's learned how to be a good steward over it by serving others first. And so now God's opened up the door for her to be able to step out and do what she does best. So I'm excited to see where this conversation goes today.
Me too. Yes.
So let's dive right in. So we are talking about dreaming. You know, She Woke Up Dreaming came out of a session that I did with Brittany Spivey, and we were doing a songwriting session, and I had to go deep into where I was at the moment. At that time, it was a whole lot going on in my life.
Mhm.
So much going on. And when life is so busy, sometimes you can't center yourself and stay focused. And so in that session, she made me uncover things. Like she asked me questions. I had to describe what I smelled, what I saw, the colors. I had to describe all these different things. And so my vision was so vivid. And I said, wow, I keep hearing this phrase, she woke up dreaming. And I had to uncover that phrase. I had to unpack that phrase. And I said, hey, why do we limit ourselves when we wake up?
Mm.
Why do we limit ourselves when we wake up? Why do we go to sleep at night and we can be anything in our dreams? But when we wake up, we're limited. We've talked ourselves out of it before we even get out of the bed. And it happens so often. So today, I want you to just sit back and listen and see where you fit in this conversation. And then after that, I want you to apply the different things that are getting ready to be talked about. So let's jump right in. So, my very first question for you is, if you had to summarize your journey in one word, what would that be and why?
Hmm. Uh, so if I had to summarize my journey to where I am today,
Mm-hmm.
with one word, it would be transform.
Hmm.
Um, and the reason why I would choose transform is because that is the word that in 1992, I believe it was, maybe 1992 or three. Um, well, I got saved in 93, so it had to be right after that. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
I was introduced to a wonderful woman, Miss Betty White, and she was phenomenal. Not Betty White, uh, the
I
comedian,
got
but this, this little old lady's name is Betty White, and she's since gone on to be with the Lord. However, she opened up Romans 12:1 and 2 to me. It was the very
you.
first scripture that I ever memorized. And to this day, it holds a place in my heart. It's my life verse because
Mm,
I know that if I can transform this,
this
I can
thing,
make anything happen in my
absolutely.
life. And that is a part of activating and waking up your dreams. You got to transform what you're thinking about that thing
Mhm.
and make it palatable, make it something that can be delivered and fed to somebody else
Yes.
and that they want to eat from it. And so when you learn how to transform your idea into what is something that is so palatable for somebody else,
Mhm.
you have really waken up and started to begin the journey. Now, the journey's
Yeah.
not over, but that is the actual beginning of the thing. Is because
Mhm.
the inception of everything in our lives is with a thought or a seed. And so if that seed is planted in your head, in your mind, it doesn't do anything until you put it down on some
Yeah.
paper, right? And then you transformed, you roamed it around in your head and you thought about how could I make this thing happen? But in your head, it does no good. Transform it
Mhm.
from your head to somebody's paper.
Yes. Write
And
it.
from that writing, you then begin to submit that thing and allow God to now be intertwined into that and allow
Mhm.
Him to breathe on it. And then it becomes His idea, not yours.
Yeah.
And because it's His idea, it's fail proof and it's going to
Mhm.
succeed.
Yes, you said it is fail proof because he gave you that thing. That's something that he gave you. Um, I definitely believe that God gives us the desires of our heart. And I know that he gives us those things to desire. So sometimes we think it's us, but no, he planted that in us so
Mhm.
that we could desire it. And then when you get in tune with his word and his will, and you say, God, not my will for my life, but yours, then
Yeah.
you start walking it out. And
Yeah.
so you said transformation.
Yeah.
That's a good word. Transformation, that you know that there was once something and now you have turned it into something else, like a transformer. It can warp into whatever it needs to be.
Yep. Exactly.
Yes. So that's real good. I know for me that in the very beginning of my journey, um, I had to go through so many different things so that my mindset would shift, and so that I will understand what it was like to feel a certain way, so that when God transformed me into a place where I had more confidence and I had more trust and reliance on Him, that when I identified somebody else that was where I once was, I can now help them in their transformation. So I love it. I definitely do. So if you had to think about when you woke up, because there was a time, that the light switch had to be turned on.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't always on.
No.
So when you woke up, was there a situation? Was it a person? Um, when did you wake up and start walking into your calling, into your anointing? Because you pastor, you're a pastor. That means you're responsible for other people,
Yeah.
responsible for leading other people. You're a mentor. That means you have to see where the person is and help them get to where you know that God has taken them. So when did you wake up so that you can do what you do on a daily basis?
So I would say this awakening started for me in 2002.
Hmm.
In 2002, I was introduced to. I was at a event, and I saw a woman across the room, and immediately our spirits connected.
Hmm.
Um, I knew then, I the Lord let me know then, this is the person that I need you to connect with. And I
Wow.
said, wow, okay. And so I think we were on a break, and the both of us were trying to get to one another, because not only did God speak to me, but
Hmm.
He spoke to her.
Yeah.
So we were trying to get to one another, and then we connected, and we remained connected, and she poured into me, and
Hmm.
she spoke into me, and she affirmed me, and she helped me to get out of a place of very, very, very low self-esteem,
Hmm.
and also to understand that there was worth in me, that I actually had something that someone needed,
Needed. Hmm.
could actually benefit from, and that my life had value.
Hmm.
Um, because, growing up, it was very devalued. I devalued it, I allowed others to devalue it. And so that's why, now I try to minister to people who are in that area, who are in that place of low self esteem, and or they don't have the confidence that they need to do what it is that they know they can do,
Hmm.
they just lack that confidence to do so. So it was then that I connected with her, and she really, really poured into me and helped to develop me. And it was also then when I actually was able to put the teaching, because I am
Hmm.
definitely called to teach. So I was able to cultivate the teaching and to
Yeah.
really dig and to hone into that, and I had the appropriate time of silence and quietness and a way to be able to allow God to cultivate me, and then me to start to cultivate the gift that He gave me.
You said that you had to allow God to do that.
Yes.
So He didn't force it on you, but you
Oh,
had to come to a moment where, okay, God, I feel like a light switch turned on.
yeah.
Where did this source of light come from? And so then you went after that light,
Yeah.
and you haven't stopped going since.
No, mm-mm. No, I have not, and
Mm-mm.
I'm very, very grateful that someone took the time to pour into me. You know,
Mm.
that's so important on anybody's journey. You have got to have somebody that is pouring into you, but then you also have to, when you get to a point in your life, be able to pour into someone else too.
Yeah,
So when you wake up, you help wake up others.
absolutely.
Yeah,
So do you still, to this day, so I know you mentor people. So do you have a mentor?
I certainly do.
Mhm.
I certainly do. I got two of them. So
Yeah.
yeah, I have two of them, and from two different aspects. So you have to. I have to constantly be poured into by someone else as well.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, you get poured into by God when you yield yourself to Him and His leading.
Yeah.
And then you get poured into if you're sitting under a ministry and you're hearing the sermons and word coming forth,
Mm-hmm.
and you're getting poured into that way. But you can also get poured into one-on-one with someone who's been where you are trying to go
Mm.
or has already exceeded where
Yeah.
you are right now, and but you still have a desire to continue to operate in excellence. And
Mm-hmm.
so you want to always have somebody that you can have to pour into you. You can call them whatever you want to call them. You don't have to put a mentor on it. It could be your best friend, but there needs to be somebody you're connected to because
Yeah.
the kingdom is all about connection. So it's got to be somebody you're connected to that is a
Mm-hmm.
life source for you that helps to feed you. You know, Christ is your main source, but
Yeah.
there's still others. This is a body, and so we all supply, and so you have to have somebody else that's going to pour in to you too.
And I like that you said I have two. So I am a firm believer that there should be you should have multiple mentors.
Yes.
Like there should be now, I mean, not just any old body, but if you're trying to get sharpened in an area that you definitely need assistance in, then you seek out a mentor or you pray and say, God, please send the right person across my path so
Yeah.
that I can link up with them and this area can be enhanced and sharpened so that I can be effective. Um, but that same person that may be mentoring you, let's say it's in writing, they're mentoring you in writing, then you can't, if that person's not gifted in speaking, then you need a different person.
So,
And
yeah.
so you have to be able to identify where you are, your needs, and know that, okay, there are giftings that I have that have to be cultivated. And so one part of your ministry, you talk about cultivation.
Yeah.
And so when you cultivate, you have to be aware. And I'm certain that because when this woman prays, you're gonna be saved. If you're not saved, you're gonna be saved. Your family gonna be saved. I'm certain when she gets a microphone, it don't even have to be a microphone, but when she opens up her mouth and prays, she commands the presence of God to come. And so, even in that, you want to know that okay, the person that I have mentoring me has something that I don't, and they have direct access to it. So
Mhm.
if I'm learning how to pray, and just use prayer for an example, and I know you know how to do it, and
Mhm.
I know that when you pray, you reach heaven because I feel it and everything else, and we start seeing the results manifest, then I will submit unto say, God, is this the person that's supposed to mentor me? And then yes, then you would start helping me see how to unlock those things as well. And so I love that you're not selfish with your gift.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I,
Yeah,
I try not to be because
mm-mm,
I know what that's like on the other end. I have been turned down 105 million times
mm,
when asking people to help me do something that I didn't have finances to do it, or show me this. So I kind
mhm.
of went through the school of hard knocks, research it, and learn how to do it on your own
Yeah.
until God sent me the first person, the first mentor, and then the second. And so yeah, but I kind of made it up in my mind and in my heart that if I can help somebody else, I will. I
Mhm.
will do that. And so I try my best to, if there is a way for me to do it, then I do. Or if I know someone else who can,
Mm,
then I'll say, hey, this person I highly recommend. You can
yeah.
trust them. You can do, they can help you.
Yeah, so you don't try to be a know-it-all.
Oh
Some
no.
people some people wanna know all the answers, and they don't want they do, they wanna know all the answers. They have all the answers, so ask me anything because I know all of it, and they
I,
don't wanna say they don't know. They kinda, like, fish around and grab some idea out. No, but that's even being a wise mentor. okay, I don't have the answer, but I know I can go get it for you, or I know where I can go get it from. And
Yes.
so you want those type of people in your corner. So have you ever heard of sleep paralysis?
Yes, I've had it multiple times. But yes.
So you know what it does, right? It does exactly what it says. It paralyzes you. And
Mm,
so this whole concept of she woke up dreaming, I feel like it equates to your dreams, not necessarily just when you're sleeping, but when you're awake. And when you're awake, fear can grab you.
ooh,
Fear can grip you so tight that it paralyzes you and it stops your forward motion that you were making to walk towards your dreams. Because God told you to go, He told you to move, He told you were called. But somewhere in between Him telling you and you taking that first step, fear's gripped you.
yep.
So I want you to give our audience 2 practical tips that will help them because it helped you overcome fear or sleep paralysis and begin to dream.
Mm. Well, the first practical thing that I would say is that it's not real.
Mm,
Okay. So it's not real. And what I mean by that is um, Joyce Myers has she coined the phrase. I'm gonna give it to her. I'm hoping that she was the one that coined it. That fear is false evidence appearing real.
mm,
And so, if in the moment of doing that, and I have actually done that in sleep paralysis in the natural when it did
mm,
happen to me, you have to shake yourself
yeah.
to wake yourself up out of that. And that is to know that this is not real. This is not real. This is not going to paralyze me. This is not
Hmm.
going to stop me in my tracks. This might be a delay, but it is not going to be a denial. I am not going to stop doing what I am called to do or what I have a desire in my heart to do.
Yeah.
Even if you want to take the spiritual aspect out of it, even if you have just a desire in your heart to do something, um, you don't want to um, take yourself off the beaten path, so to speak. My other
Mhm.
thing is that don't sabotage your own dream.
Whew.
Don't do that either.
Mm,
Um, there are vicious cycles that people go through, um, and rejection, abandonment,
mhm.
disappointment, hurt, and things like that. But you can easily begin to sabotage your own dream and
Absolutely.
talk yourself out of it because you're seeing the impossibility of things
Hmm.
versus the possibility of it. How could I possibly get this done? So don't sabotage
Hmm.
your own dreams. If you woke up, then you have the ability to make this thing happen.
Yeah.
But if you talk yourself out of it, if you sabotage it, then it'll lay dormant longer and longer and
Hmm.
longer. It'll be pushed back further and further and
Oh, yeah.
further. And you were supposed to do something in 2005, and here you are, and I'm talking about me now, and here you are in 2017
Mm,
because
see,
that self-sabotage. Don't do that.
that's real. And sometimes people do it and they don't know they're doing it because it's such a habit that they're not used to finishing. I remember when I was at my previous church that I was there for about 10 years.
Mhm.
My pastor used to say, Pastor Brady, she used to say, have a spirit of a finisher. She used an example of, have you ever known someone that starts their laundry and then they just leave it in the washing machine? Or they leave it in the dryer and they never go get it. Like it just stays there. No, you have to complete what you start. And that's something simple. That's something simple. I take my laundry, I put it in the washing machine, it stops, I put it in the dryer, I take it out, I fold it up, and I put it away. But sometimes people forget that they left it in the washing machine.
Yeah.
And what happens when you leave something that long? After a while, it starts to smell, it starts to mildew. And what do you think our dreams are doing?
Mhm.
What do you think our purpose is doing? What do you think is happening to the people that are waiting for us to wake up? Because people, like you said, we are all connected.
Yeah.
So there's somebody that needs what you have,
Mhm.
and you're stuck in fear and you're not moving. So that person is still at point B, D, C, whatever, and you haven't even gotten to start yet because you don't want to get out the bed. You want to stay stuck in your dream. And so I love that you said stop self-sabotaging, because sometimes it's not even another person, it's you.
It says.
Like, why do you feel like you're not enough to do it?
Mhm.
Why do you feel like you don't have what it takes? And I know that it comes with, sometimes it comes with your environment, it comes with how you were raised, sometimes it comes from condemnation, you start comparing yourself to other people, all these different things. But somewhere along the line, that light switch has to flip up, and you
Yeah.
have to realize that purpose and destiny has been there all along. Like, all you had to do was flip up the switch,
Yeah.
but you had to get out of bed to turn the light on.
Exactly. Exactly. And there's something that I say quite often, especially for women. Men may or may not do this as much as women
Mhm.
sometimes seem to do, and that is to compete. In this kingdom that we are in, it is about completion. I
Mhm.
I help to complete you, you help to complete me.
Yeah.
There shouldn't be any competition in what we're doing because that is for the secular world.
Mhm.
That's for those who aren't in him. So now if you start competing with your sister and your brother in ministry, it does not help us. It doesn't help us because every joint supplies. So that means there's something I have that you benefit from, and vice versa. And so
Yeah.
where I'm weak in this area, you're strong in that area. And
Mhm.
so it doesn't hurt me to say, hey, I need you to help me with so and so. Hey, I
Yeah.
need your assistance on this because I have a blind spot and I may not be able to see that. And so,
Mhm.
we really have to stop this competition thing. I mean, this is not the Olympics. This is not a 440 race or any of that. We're not at Showtime at the Apollo, and we're not trying to win a prize. Well,
Yeah.
we are, but in the race that we're running, it's not to win the prize of I can say I knocked you out. It's to say how many did I bring in, not
Yeah.
how many did I knock out the box, because we're not an island unto ourselves, and competition should not be in even in our vocabulary. It should not be in the kingdom
Mhm.
of God. It should be, how can I help complete your mission? How
Yeah.
can you help complete mine?
Yeah, we should complement one another.
Mhm.
We should complement one another. That's how you build community. That's how you build relationships. That's how you do that. And in order for you to know how to love on someone else, you got to love yourself. And
Yeah,
so, even in this aspect of dreaming, in your dreams, you have no limitations and no boundaries. And you see yourself in this superpower type of way. Like, you got on your cape, you can take on the world. And
mhm,
so you have a confidence in yourself, in your dream. And so to wake up and daydream, as I call it,
mhm.
um, to dream while you're awake, meaning whatever I saw when I was sleeping, I can have that today. I can have that in the now. And I'm taking steps toward it. So I want our viewers to know it's okay to daydream, even when your surroundings look nothing like what you think it should, that was in your dream. It didn't look like it did,
Yeah,
but you can still daydream and walk towards your purpose, because every step matters. Every step is towards purpose. It's either to it or from it.
mhm, mhm. That's
So if you could um, tell us some things that you had to wake up, give us three things. Now I said six. Okay, three. Give us three things that you had to wake up from. It could be anything.
okay. So those are real easy. I had to wake up from being a self-sabotager.
Mm-hmm.
I had to wake up from rejection, and
Ooh.
I had to wake up from abandonment. So those were my three top things that I really had to wake up from those things and realize that those who what I felt like or thought was rejection could have
Mm-hmm.
sent by God to say, I do not want you down that path. Or those things that I felt like were abandoned in my life could also have been God's way of saying, listen, I have
Yeah.
engrafted you into the vine, and everything that is a loss is not a loss. So even when you think it is a loss to you,
Mhm.
it is not, because the God has so much greater. He does. He has so much greater for us. And so I had to wake up and understand that a loss to me,
Mhm.
um, when I looked at it in with a transformed mind, wasn't really a loss at all.
So your
A
perception of
rejection,
it changed.
yes, yes. A rejection to me really wasn't a rejection, but it was God's acceptance of me. And that abandonment was a treasure that I actually found within myself.
Speak
And
on
so,
that a little bit. Like, what do you mean when you say abandonment?
okay. So we can view abandonment in a couple of ways. So if somebody dropped me off on a doorstep as a child,
Hmm.
I would feel I was abandoned, right? But as an infant, I didn't know what abandonment was because someone else may have raised me. And
Yeah.
so, but when somebody tells you that you've been abandoned, now you
Hmm.
analyze that, and now you're looking at that not with the right perspective, because
Hmm.
that abandonment, like I said, was really not that at all. It was the treasure that now you found within that family, within that community, within your own self. And so you have really have got to take a different perspective when you're looking at those words. That's actually what I had to do. I had to transform the way I thought and looked at those things and find the good that came out
Yeah.
and not focus on so much on the bad that came out of it.
Hmm. So everything boils down to a choice.
Yeah.
You chose to do those things. And when your wake up call comes, that in itself is a choice. I can choose to answer it, or I
Mhm.
can choose to stay still and stuck.
Mm.
Um, and people stay stuck and they complain about it. But you have to put motion behind it. You can't just stay in the bed all day and dream. You can't. You have to put effort behind it. And everybody's dream may not be to be on a platform, to be on a stage, to have a business. Some people may want to be the best principal that they can be. Maybe
Yeah.
somebody wants to be the best janitor that they can be. It,
Mm.
it doesn't matter what platform that you're put on, is that you're being responsible over the dreams and the gifts that God has given you, because it's an extension. You know, God is using you, He's placing you in these different places so that you can be His hands and His feet.
That's right. That's right. And nobody can outdo you being you.
Absolutely.
There's only one of you.
So,
Even if you were a queen, it's only one of you.
mm-hmm,
So nobody can outbeat you being who you are. So it's no need to try to be somebody else. Just embrace you, learn to love you,
mm-hmm,
allow God to cultivate who you are and who
yeah,
you are in Him. And then you're going to give the world the very best of you.
you jumping on into my favorite exercise right now. So I
Uh-oh.
want you to do, this is my favorite part of the whole thing. I love talking. Um,
Mhm.
I gotta tell myself to stop sometimes, but I love talking. So I want you to do the bathroom mirror exercise. So this is where I want you to look into this camera, act like we're not here. We just a fly on the wall in your bathroom. You're looking
Okay.
at yourself. You're about to walk on the biggest stage you have ever walked on. You're about, it's game day. You're about to play the championship game, and you have to encourage yourself. You have to give yourself that pep talk because there's nobody else around to do it. It's coming from the inside. So I want you to look at that camera and encourage yourself, but you really gonna be encouraging us. You can do both of them at the same time. But go ahead, it's game day. What you got?
All right. So it's time. It's time to put to use everything that God has placed on the inside of me. And so now I got to go out here. I didn't spend this time cultivating myself and allowing God to cultivate me to abandon the treasure that's on the inside of me. Now I have
Mm,
to get out here and give the world what God has given me to give to them. I have value. I have worth. I mean something to myself first. I'm the best me that I can be. Nobody
mm,
can beat me being me. And this is not a competition I'm in because I am only trying to help complete something else that somebody else has started. So come on, let's do this. You
mm.
got this, girl. We can do it. There is no failure because this plan came from God. It's fail proof, only
Mm.
success. The only thing we're going to get out of this is success.
Yeah. Yeah. So with that being said, understand that you are fearfully and wonderfully made, that you do have the right thing down on the inside of you, which is Christ. And if he's on the inside of you, allow the greater one to stand up tall. And then you can go on to you into this day knowing that everywhere the soles of your feet tread, that God's given it to you. So I already have it. So it's now time for my mind to take a hold of what God has already given me. My faith needs to match what God is saying. And so bring those things together and you have a winning combination. Like she said, you are great. You have it. You have it. You're the full package. There's nobody else that can do what you do. This thumbprint, that thumbprint that you have, nobody else has it. You are uniquely you. And so today, jump out there, be you. Otherwise, the world's going to miss what it is that you have to offer. And not only you, but the God in you has to offer. So
Yeah.
today, be who God has called you to be. If you haven't stood up and stepped into your calling, it's a perfect time for you to do that. Today, right now, you can do it. It's the start of a new day. We get new mercies each and every day. Why not jump in there and take it and take a hold of it? And remember, you're not going alone because Christ is already, he's always with you. He's forever with us. And so I want to thank you today for coming on my She Woke Up broadcast and just sharing your heart and speaking to the sleeping giants that are out there. Thank you so much for sharing part of your story and also being available to the call of God on your life. Because without you answering your call, there would be a lot of people that would be missing out on some parts of Christ because you were out of place. And so I thank you for staying in your rightful place. I thank you for being the first choice of God. I thank you for that smile that you always have because it's an inspiration. And so let these people that are watching, let our viewers know how to find you and where, and if you have any events going on. She's also an author. She didn't tell y'all she write books. She didn't tell y'all that yet. So I'm gonna have to tell for you. So let them know how to find your book, how to find your products. Let them know what you're doing so that they can be a part because she has something to say.
Okay. Well, thank you. Thank you so much for having me on She Woke Up. I'm excited. I'm
Yeah.
excited for you. And I'm your biggest. Look, I don't know if I'm your biggest, but in my mind, I'm your biggest.
I tell you that I'm your favorite. So it's the same thing.
Right. Okay. So for social media platforms, you can find me on Facebook at it's Elder Chislom. On Instagram, same thing, Elder Chislom. Um, I do have my email address is info SDC Ministries at gmail.com. And Ebony talks about my book. So I'm going to show it to you. God's Hidden Treasure. This
Hmm.
is the book. This is one of them.
Yeah.
And um, that's my baby. It's a 40-day journey. A 40-day journey. I say it's a 40-day journey, but it's a 40-day devotional. And that was my first book that I released, so it has some sentiments in my heart. I
Yeah.
am in the process of releasing another book. Hopefully, we'll get it out the end of this year. Jewels in Your Crown is to help people to overcome low self-esteem
Hmm.
um, and the insecurities that lie within. And so I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm excited. And Cultivation God's Way is held every other Saturday on Zoom. If you email me at the info SDC Ministries at
Mhm.
gmail.com, I'll be happy to send you the link or the flyer either way. And my next session will be May 4th.
Yes, so I will definitely have all of the information in the bio. You will be able to access her social media and get access to this awesome class. Like when I tell you she knows how to rightly divide the word, she does. You're gonna have a definite. You're not gonna just read one scripture and breeze by it. She's going to let you know how to apply it. Each and every word means something, and so she's gonna show you how to study so that can't nobody just come up to you, especially in this day and age we're in now, where people are taking pieces of the Bible and trying to create their own truth.
Yeah. Mhm.
So this class that she's offering is worth the time. It's worth the investment in you. So definitely look down in the bio. Her information's there. Reach out to her. Tell her I sent you. You might even see me in the classes because I take them too. Trust me.
Yes, she
You
does.
always have to grow. You always have to develop. So I want to say thank you so much for coming again. Everyone, thank you for watching. Tune in next week for another amazing guest. Trust me, I told you I bring nothing but the best on here. I want the best for you. I want you to know that you can do all things through Christ that strengthen you and
Yeah.
that you already have everything that you need. And it's time to access and tap into it. You guys have a great day and continue to daydream. See you later.
Bye.
Thank you so much for tuning into this episode of She Woke Up Dreaming. For more content, visit ebonysbailey.com or subscribe today on YouTube, Facebook, Apple Podcast, or Google Play.